Now then, what's happening, guys? I'm Forest of 3, and this is me popping your RimWorld Cherry. Um, so yeah, basically I'm just going to do a sort of first hour or so of RimWorld. I absolutely love this game. I've had it a few years. I got it when it was first released in alpha. I mean, it is still in early access, I think, as far as I'm aware. Although, no, they actually did finally release it as its final version at some point, but never mind. Anyways, yes, I've ploughed many hours into this. You see here 431.9 hours. I always tend to go off the sort of £1 per hour of fun game ratio. So this is far surpassed that. It's everything I like in a game. It's management, resource management, base building. Obviously, you can see here, description itself: a sci-fi colony sim driven by an intelligent AI storyteller, generates stories by stimulating psychology, ecology, gunplay, melee combat, climate, biomes, diplomacy, interpersonal relationships, art, medicine, trade, and more. So already just from that description alone, it's a pretty in-depth game. And it's overwhelmingly positive, but the negative reviews that I do see are generally of the same ilk. They tend to be, looks great, plays, it looks like it's going to be amazing, I just can't figure it out. And I can kind of see why. It's not the easiest game to grasp. So I'm going to try and basically bring you up to speed with it, i.e. pop that cherry of yours. So yeah, like I say, I've got about 431 hours at the time of recording this. And just a bit about me, I'm brand new to this whole YouTube malarkey, and if you like, obviously subscribe, comment, any feedback. I am using pretty basic equipment. I haven't been paid since February. I'd love to invest in some new gear for recording, a new microphone and stuff like that, but at the minute it's just not possible. But if you like the content, let me know. But for now, I'm gonna just fucking play. So let's go. And I will just mute my music. So it's basically just a sandboxy type of game. You can heavily mod it. I'm not big on games that are hugely modded. I'm just going to turn the music volume down a bit, turn everything down a bit. If you've played Prison Architect, it looks pretty much the same as that. But like I say, it's more sandboxy. It's more sort of story driven. I think the story kind of comes to you. I could probably compare it to things like Crusader Kings or Stellaris, if you've played those sort of games where there will be periods of just waiting, where your colonists are just doing shit and just moving around and things like that, gathering, creating things, etc., etc. But the story's there, and obviously you've got your colonists, and a lot of things can happen. You've got to deal with things like natural disasters, manhunter packs, fucking droids that'll just land on your planet and just start kicking the shit out of you. So there's a lot to sort of manage, and there's a lot of really fine detail within the game, in terms of things like colonists' moods and weather and farming and managing food and things like that. Colonist mood is a big thing, and we'll go into that as we play along. Obviously, you don't have to play it like I am, and I'm sure there's a million other people who play it differently to me and probably better than me. But I've just been looking for an excuse to play it again. Like I say, I'm in lockdown like everyone else, and it's been 7 weeks, and I've got no concept of going back to work anytime soon. So just put some YouTube stuff up. A lot of games kind of say, decisions matter, and it's kind of that sort of famous game journalism line where, it's like the Dark Souls of survival games, or it's the whatever. But decisions really do matter in this game. There's a lot of stuff that's presented to you. There's a lot of sort of moral choices you have to make with your colonists, etc., etc. But I would stress the ability to prioritize, to be able to manage prioritizing and just managing basic stats. So I'm going to briefly go into mods. I do use a fair few, but I'm going to I'm going to stick to some basics here. If you're playing along, I'll link these in the description, but I'm just going to have a quick run through what these guys do. So Quality Builder, the three at the top are just the sort of core RimWorld mod, so to speak, well, base stuff, and you kind of build from there. Same with HugsLib, it's kind of a base for other, it says here, shared functionality to other mods. So what we're running Quality Builder, which throughout the game you have certain items that you really do want to be built by the best person with construction, and the RimWorld AI doesn't always do that. As your colony grows, you're going to have more than one person who's going to be decent at construction, but you want the person with the best stats to be making the item if it's a good item, because otherwise you risk wasting resources. The better quality it is, the more beauty it has, the more functional it is. Beauty contributes a hell of a lot to colonists' mood, way more than you'd think, considering you've crash landed on a fucking alien planet. But whatever. So there's that. There's realistic rooms, which is basically just, it allows for slightly smaller rooms. In the base game, you've got to have a minimum, I don't remember the tile size, but otherwise colonists are unhappy and they feel cramped. This just kind of brings it down a little bit, because I'm not a fan of huge, sprawling constructions. I like to keep it quite compact as much as I can. So HugsLib, I've explained, it's just a base library. While you're up, it's just hauling. It's basically just if the AI, it's just a rework of the AI again. So basically, if a colonist is on his way back to base and he's got stuff in his hands and he's passing something that could be hauled back to base, he'll, if he can, grab it. Whereas before he would go back to base and come back out and grab it. So that's all that does. This is just a color-coded mood bar, as you can see up here. This is what the sort of mood screen looks like. This is just for my vision. I've got terrible vision. I don't have glasses. I should wear glasses. It just kind of helps me see how colonists are doing, because mood is a big thing. Numbers just adds a toolbar, which is just basically puts all the colonist stats into one visible place, which RimWorld base game doesn't have. I think the only mod that I'm using that kind of is a little bit of a cheat is Deep Stack, but I would really recommend it because it just increases stack sizes for everything. I think RimWorld base game has a very brutal stack size, and like I say, I'm not a fan of huge sprawling spaces. Excuse me, just having some wine. So I like to keep my storage area fairly small. It does have to be quite large, but you'll see as I play on, as we start gathering resources, things like steel, which we need a lot of, have quite small stack sizes. So this is just to increase that. And priority treatment is just, again, a little bit of an AI tweak, so that those who are doctors or prioritized to medical will basically act like real life doctors and treat those most in need of it first. So that's that, and they'll do that before they kind of eat or sleep. That's their priority, that they will always prioritize their doctor's work first. I'm going to close that, and we're going to play some RimWorld rather than me chatting on. I kind of want to keep this the first hour, so we'll kind of go, and we'll take it from there, but there's a little bit more to it than that. So, new colony. Few options here. The classic experience is what we're going to do, which is crash landed, which is 3 people. You crash land on a planet, you get these materials, which we'll go into. So we've basically got some medicine, we've got some meals, we've got some silver, which is the currency, and we've got a few weapons, a bit of armor, a random pet, so it could be anything from like a fucking mega sloth, I think they're called, which are really beastie pets, or it could be a fucking chihuahua, or a Yorkshire Terrier, or something like that. And some steel and wood, some basic building equipment, as well as the map will be scattered with some stuff. So this is how we're going to play. If it's your first time through, there's 3 game modes here. You've got Cassandra Classic, Phoebe Chillax, Randy Random. This will tell you what it does, but just briefly, Cassandra Classic is sort of your usual game. The game difficulty will increase as time goes on. Things that happen will generally be more difficult as the game progresses, and it's a bit more of a learning curve. Phoebe Chillax is, as it says, it's casual mode. It gives you a lot of time between events happening, so you got a chance to sort of rebuild and get shit done. I'd probably recommend that for your first time playthrough, or one of these two, because I've played it quite a bit, and I'd quite like to have some events happen to sort of give you a scope of what can happen in a short space of time. I'm going to go randy random on rough mode. Merciless. That must be new. Just have a brief read of that. Apply mastery of every RimWorld skin for just a chance to survive a harrowing trial against a merciless, unfair world. This level is about dealing with losses because preventing them is impossible. You'll spend a lot of time fighting, wounded, and recovering, and you'll need to sacrifice people and things you love. Unfair challenges and a capricious death may come at any time. See, I would describe the RimWorld experience as that anyways. Maybe I'm not as good as other people, but I generally don't complete games. I'll just kind of play them out, and I enjoy the sort of just the story of them and the few. So generally a game will last me about 30-40 hours. And it's just the sort of journey along the way, you know, with your colonists, which comes next. So we're just going to reload any time mode, just in case anything goes tits up and I need to do anything over, because I wouldn't like to risk this all on one. So here we're creating our world. I'll just give this randomized seed a few clicks. If I don't recognise the words, you know, I've kind of got something in the back of my mind that I might have played this seed before, so I'll just keep clicking. Until I find something I don't recognise. Oh God, I've played traders, that'll do. I haven't played traders, I don't think. So glow coverage, I'm just going to change that to 50%. Here you can kind of ease it up a bit. You know, overall rainfall you can't put really high if you want, because there are things like fires you've got to deal with. Certain wildlife start fires. Boomalopes, they're called. Overall temperature, you can bring that down, or if you want, or obviously higher. It depends on where you're going to choose or randomize to land at. And population, so that'll be things like, you know, your animals and things like that. So I'm just going to keep everything normal. I'm just going to do the globe coverage of 50% and we'll generate the world. Here it just shows what mods we are running. And there is the expansion of the royalty here, which I did buy. So as of now, we're running version 1.1.2624. So this includes the royalty, but I'm not going to worry too much about royalty add-on just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically give you the first sort of hour or so of RimWorld once we've got our characters done. So normally I would select random site and just kind of get what I'm given, but for the sake of me being random and anything can kind of happen, I'm just going to select a certain position. I'm going to go large, the largest I can. It says that it's meant to be played on medium map size, but I've never had a problem. I like the larger maps. They kind of give a bit more game depth. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for temperate forest areas, which are these kind of dark browny sort of areas. I generally find they're the easiest sort of areas. And we'll find somewhere that's not away from these skull and crossbones and things like that. We don't want to be right on top of that. And I generally find small hills, which you can see down here, is generally quite easy. So I'll just have a look at the terrain. So growing period 50 out of 60 days. Your year is 60 days long, so that's fairly forgiving, and decent rainfall there. So you've got marble and granite. Disease frequency is generally about that anyways. So yeah, I think fuck it, we'll just go there, just for the sake of getting this started. So right, here's your character creation. This is where this might take some time and I might have to sort of speed things up, but I'll briefly go over how I look over character creation. So you start with 3 and you don't get to choose their stats. These are guys that have been put in the game. There is a mod, and I'm not going to talk about mods too much other than the ones I'm using. There is a mod where you can choose stats, but it's kind of an easy mode. And like I say, I'm gonna just kind of, I've got a set way of how I want my 3 characters to come about. So basically what I want is I want to have someone who's good at shooting. Obviously you can see the stats here. I'm not going to go through each and every one of them. They're pretty descriptive as to what they do, or fairly obvious. So I want someone who's good at shooting, for starters. I'm going to try and categorise everyone and get them 3 good skills. Obviously I'd like everyone to be well-rounded in them all. It just doesn't happen. And you notice here they've got health conditions, traits, which can be good and bad, and then they've got incapabilities, which basically mean that they will never do these things. You can see that the stats here are just dashed out. At least here, social 0, he's shite at it, but he will learn it. So that's something to look out for. So my idea of a good starting team is primarily someone, your defender, you know, someone who's tanky, someone who's good at shooting. If possible, animals would be ideal. I'm looking at this guy straight away and saying this guy's pretty decent for what I'm looking for. This Nicholas Vikinger Meyer. I'm looking for someone with decent shooting, mining, because I want them to be out in the field quite a lot, and if something happens, I want them to be able to defend themselves if they're out there. Animals, when you try and tame them, can attack you, so if they're able to defend themselves even further, if it fails, then that's a plus. The only problem I can see with this guy is that he's a nudist, and that's going to come in. That's problematic. I can't have that because I'm going to need this guy armed up. I don't really mind that he's ugly. Just means people aren't going to be as nice to him socially, but whatever. My second, I'm just going to have a quick look through and see how it is. I mean, this guy's stats are shit. I mean, they're terrible, absolutely terrible, but at least he can do everything. He's decent medic and he's decent plants, but my second character, I want to be the sort of housekeeper, if you will. They're going to be our doctor, so I'm looking for someone with high medical and high plants, because if you get someone with plants, a skill of 8 at the start, you can plant basic, fucking, what's it called? Just like basic herbs, herbal medicine, and it's better than nothing. If you have no medicine, you really do risk, if someone gets in trouble, them dying. So you want that, and the herbal medicine can be upgraded further in the future to proper medicine, or at least normal medicine. There's a few different levels of medicine. It is very in-depth, this game, and that's what I think puts a lot of people off. This person I would also like to have to be reasonably good at cooking. Cooking's a big thing. We're going to be constantly having someone at that stove, and that's going to be needed to be fulfilled all the time, pretty much as soon as our initial supplies run out, and it doesn't last long, maybe 8 game days or so. And my third character, I would like to be our sort of builder, you know, so good construction and good crafting, but as a secondary, I'd also like them to have decent shooting, because we do get a secondary gun at the start. It's only a pistol, but I'd rather have 2 people who can shoot than 1. An intellectual as well, because we're going to need to do some research. You land and you're given the items that you start with at your technology level. Ours is going to be sort of basic industrial. Maybe it's a bit higher, maybe it's a bit more advanced than that. Industrial sounds a bit more like 100 years ago. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking to have that sort of well-rounded team, rather than be looking for really excellent individuals who might excel in one stat. So this might take a while. This is probably where I'll fast forward the video, and I'll come out with the other side and I'll go, okay, here's my team. So you can see at the bottom it does say team skills. This is a nice addition that they did make, and it's kind of what I'm looking for as well. All the stats are kind of hit. Social is not tremendously important, but it's good for trade. Artistic is purely just to boost mood, and the other thing that's missing there is crafting, which I do think is quite important. And animals, sorry, but animals isn't the biggest thing. So basically all you do now is you randomize. If you don't want to bring someone along, you're going to be randomizing them. Now, just as a quick note, melee I'm really not bothered about. I don't really like throwing people into melee. I prefer range combat, and throwing someone into the melee mix, just you can shoot your own guys, and they generally don't survive, I find. They've got a much less chance of surviving. Yes, they get a brawler stat and they've got great melee chance, but no. So I'm going to spend a bit of time here. I'll fast forward the video and just sort of go through and see if I can assemble a decent team. Just as I go through, there was one thing I missed. These things, the flames. So you can see down here, characters either have 1 or 2 or none. that's basically their passion. So if they have one flame, they're going to learn or increase their level up to a maximum of 20. You see here, there's these numbers here, these go up to 20. 20 being the max, and obviously very, very skilled. It means they do things faster and to a higher level. So if you're crafting, say, armor, and you've got someone crafting level 20 armor, chances are it's going to be coming out excellent quality every time. If they've got one flame, they're going to learn at 100%. Nothing, you learn at a typical sort of a normal speed, and the double flame is 150%. So just to bring that up, and now, like I say, I'm just going to take a break while I assemble this team. You don't have to assemble the same team as mine. Obviously, it takes some time to randomize. These are all players, well, NPCs that are in the game already, so you've kind of got to go through a hell of a lot of databases. So, okay, so you can see here I found one of my members. So we've got Octave Protein Whitehouse. I don't know why she's called Protein. He's called Protein. He is old. He's got a scratch foot on his left scar. Sorry, a scratch scar on his left foot. So he's only got a 91% efficiency, so he moves slow. But like I say, he's gonna be my housekeeper. Medical 12 with a burning passion. That's a really great stat. He's only got 7 for plants. I wanted 8, but he's again got a passion for it. So that's gonna go up quite quickly once we get our initial plants down. And he's a decent cook, and he doesn't mind doing it. His move speed is quite slow, but this guy is not going to be shooting. He's not going to be going out the house. So just to explain the traits. His move speed's down. He's a careful shooter, which is irrelevant really because I'm not going to be equipping him with anything. And psychically dull. So now and then you'll have psychic effects go out across the globe or across the galaxy or whatever. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. This basically means he's not too affected by it, so he's half affected by it, which works to your advantage and not to your advantage. Obviously, if it's a really good effect, he doesn't get the full benefits of it, but I'll carry on searching for the rest of my team. So I've got housekeeper, I can tick that off my list. One more thing I will mention is I very, very infrequently pick anyone incapable of dumb labour. It's basically hauling, picking shit up and bringing it home. If you can't do that, you don't make the cut. Sorry, mate, but that's just fucking lazy. Okay, so we're going to go with Ricardo Skizzer Rodriguez for our sort of defender. He's not brilliant, but just in the sake of getting it done. Shooting 13, that's a really strong start, and he's got a passion for it, so that's going to go up. Mining is only 1, which I did want to be quite high, but he's got the burning passion, so that will rise quite quickly if I get him working at it. Animals is only 1, which is not great, but I can train him up. It depends on the animal we get at the start. But we're gonna have to go from there. The higher that skill is, it basically means animals are great because what you can do is you can train them to defend their master, and they're just kind of expendable. You can kind of send them to charge in, and they'll slow an attack down if you've been raided by people, and they'll take some crossfire, no doubt. But they'll die. But then they're also a meat source. You can get a mood loss from a bonded if you form a bond with an animal dying. But I think for the sake of this, we're going to get this going. He's also got intellectual 9, so if I can find someone who's got a reasonably good shooting stat, maybe it's them. They can balance that that animal stat out. So again, I'll just try and find my last member of my team. Okay, so this guy's not perfect, but he'll do for the sake of this game. So I was really looking for someone who had a bit higher shooting, but this guy's got a passion for animals. So that'll sort of help him, defend himself. He'll be able to bring animals with him if he goes out into the field to do work. His intellectual's very high, so that kind of negates this guy as well. So I can have two people basically doing some research. Research is very important. You always want to have someone doing that as early as possible to get some advancements. And he's got crafting, which we were looking for, burning passion in that. We don't need that to be particularly high, but if we look down here, team skills, construction, we've got this guy as well. That's another stat we were looking for. 3's not great, but a burning passion means he's going to level that up very fast. And the stuff we build at the beginning it just needs to be standard, you know. It doesn't need to be beautiful. And he's got some nice stats here and no negative health stuff. So you know, they're all males, so there won't be any love affairs that can develop. Some of them are quite old, but I think that's a fairly good team. We've got well, we do have a relationship. So we left behind this guy's. I don't know if we can change that. Right, we can. So I just don't like any relationships. It just complicates things. But that seems like a pretty strong starting point to go with. So I think we're going to go from there. And like I say, I'll say we'll play our first hour, and we'll take it from there. There's going to be a lot to go through. If you find that it's helpful, let us know in the comments. Like I say, like and subscribe. I'm still very new to this, so I don't really know how it all works. But if you enjoy the content, do let me know. Likewise, any feedback is also appreciated. But like I say, I stress I am doing this on fairly basic equipment. So, the three of you awaken your crypto sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown rim world. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. So, straight away, what we do, probably going to turn that music down just a little bit. Let the guys out and pause it straight away. I'm just going to go options and turn everything down just a little bit, just so it's not. I am quite a quiet talker. This learning help is up in the top corner. I'm just going to turn that off just for the sake, because it annoys us. It is helpful for new players though. So, straight away what we got, we want to look at a few things. We want to look at the map. We want to see, use the middle wheel to sort of just drag it around. I like this. I mean, this is huge. This is an absolutely enormous area. I've never seen anything like this big. But we've got a few things that we want to be looking for. 4 things in my eyes. So you want it to be fairly central to the map. You don't want to be right on the edge and a raider party comes in from this side. You'll notice obviously it's just a sort of, you know, a square. There's a lot to take in at the start, but like I say, we're fairly central. We always land fairly central. So there's one thing. We're looking for fertile ground, which is these dark patches of land. You can see them scattered around here. And if you look in the bottom left hand corner, you can see here rich soil, fertility 140%. It means our crops are going to grow fast. Well, 40% faster than they normally would. That's brilliant. That's great. That's something that we want. What else do we want? Away from danger zones. Now, this is where this is kind of difficult, because you see anywhere that these very square walls are, and you will get a warning when a colonist walks past them. But I'm trying to find another one. There's normally more than one. See, the other one might be inside here somewhere. See, we see some walls. We even see a door there. But that could be where the other one is. Alternatively, it could be inside a mountain. You just don't fucking know, unless it's very obvious like that. But I can guarantee you there's something in there. We don't know what. It could be people asleep that we can rescue. It could be fucking big robots that are just gonna come and slaughter you. It's the thing with RimWorld. There's a lot of possibilities. So I'll go through the main screens first, just to sort of give you a layout of what's going on here. So Architect, this is basically where all your commands come from. So you designate zones, all your items that you can produce, structural items, so things like walls, and if you click on them, it gives you the option to then choose the material. Bridges and stuff like that aren't going to be too important. We don't have any lakes or anything we need to cross. I mean, there's a couple of things here, but I'm not too worried about crossing that puddle. Furniture, so things like beds, generally things that make rooms a little nicer. Power, which is obviously important. We need to manage our power output because we're going to have electrical devices. You can improve these over time through research. Security, which is things like sandbags, barricades, spike traps. These can be improved as well. You can get additional security measures. Miscellaneous, it's just sort of other things. Obviously, like I say, you've got graves, which are quite important for if you get a raid. You do not want to really be leaving corpses lying around, especially near your home area. It's going to make people sad. They're going to rot. They're going to piss people off, basically. We've got floors, which is we don't worry about them too much early on, but it just makes rooms a bit nicer. They take a while to construct, but again, once you're settled, if things are going quite well, and you find that you generally want to boost people's moods, that's sort of a really great option to go for. And recreation, people have recreational needs, which we're going to see when we click on someone, their needs. Recreation is part of that, so we're going to have things that fulfill those needs. Ship is really endgame stuff. None of that can be constructed yet. That's all research and temperature stuff, which we'll come to. So that's the architect screen. We'll be coming back to this a lot, and I'll explain a lot of those things in detail. So work. Straight away, the first thing we want to do is flicking this onto manual priorities, and we get these now new numbers. So what I always do, everyone gets number 1 priority firefight if they can do it, because we don't want the fucking place burning down. And patient, if you're injured, you go to the fucking hospital. Now this is where your skills start coming in. Obviously they've colour coded it, so you can see there it will flash up, you get a drop down. I know that Protein's my doctor, that's who I want to do it. I don't want anyone else doing it because she's by far the best. I want the best treatment, and chances are she isn't going to be going out. I don't know why I'm calling her a she, because I'm just calling her the housewife, but it's a he. Forgive us. He's the doctor. He's not going to be venturing out too much. All he's going to be doing is sort of farming, cooking, tending to patients. So bed rest, I'm going to have that at 2. That will get changed if depending on the severity of people's injuries. If people have got flu and stuff like that, I don't care. I want them treated, and I want them up working. I don't want them lying around in bed all day. Basic, I always set that to 2 to everyone. That's things just like flicking switches on and off and things like that. Warden is your ability to recruit prisoners, which is a huge part of the game for me, I find anyways. I do like to capture people, and if they've got the right skills, I'll steal them, basically. Building your colony is the key to survival. 3 people, it's difficult. The more people you get, the easier it becomes. So he'll warden. He'll also be responsible for other animals because he's best at it. Protein's going to cook. It's all in the name. Skizzer is going to be our constructor because he's best at it. And he's got the passion for it. You can kind of see the little flame icon there, indicating the double flame icon there. Even though they're not very good at it, we're going to make him do it because he's going to be our tank. So Hunt, obviously he's the guy. This is where it's a good time to show you. So Skizzer is our tank. You get 2 guns at the start. You get your bolt action rifle, and you used to get a revolver, but that doesn't seem to have dropped, which is a bit of a bummer. Oh, there it is. Okay, she was just stood over it. All these things are crossed out. You just press F on them all, and people will pick them up. But what we're going to do, this guy's got those equipped. I'm going to give him the flak jacket. But I'm going to give Bill the flak pants. Because he's going to be out trying to tame animals, and if that goes wrong, I'm just going to get these to put them on, and I'm going to repause. We want the medicine picked up as well. So just make sure everything's uncrossed. There's steel here. Stuff kind of does scatter around. So Bill's got his black pants on. So I'm going to pause again, and we're just going to take stock. So the work screen, we'll go back to that. Bill is the best at it. He's not particularly good, but he's got the passion for it, so he'll be doing that. Basically, whoever's the best at it will be doing stuff. That's the general rule of thumb. But it's prioritizing this, and obviously you've got priority 1 is done first, priority 4 is done last. You've got to use those numbers, and you've got to be clever with those and how, because the game, what a lot of people don't realize with this game is that I can't just click on this guy and go, right, you chop this tree, like right click, chop this tree. It doesn't work like that. You prioritize their work and they will automatically do it. It's very much an automated thing. Obviously you can have more than one people doing, a person doing more than one thing, but you don't want them to have too much stuff on, otherwise things that are down at this end won't get done. So plant cut, that's chopping wood and crops and things like that. So I'm just going to stick with protein doing that, because if you're not great at it, you generally don't get good results. The better you are at it, the more crop yield you'll get, the more wood you'll get for trees and things like that. I'm going to just take off smithing, art, crafting and stuff like that for now, because it's not essential. And because Bill is going to be constructing, these guys are going to have number 1 priority hauling. I'm going to leave Bill at 3 because I want him to be focused on building. You want to get your structure up and ready as soon as possible. Soundtrack sort of kicks in, can be quite groovy. Clean I'm going to leave there, and research I'm going to leave off because we don't even have a research bench yet. So that's the work screen. Restrict, this is basically, it's just a bar chart, and you can see here allowed areas. I'll come into that a bit later once we're discussing sort of natural disasters and things like that. And then you can basically force these guys to do stuff during certain hours. So I'm going to say between 9 and 6 for now. I want you guys fuck it, 9 and 7. I want you guys working. Like, I don't want you slacking off. Actually 8, like 10-hour days. Like, you're fucked. You've landed on a planet. You need to get to it. If you let them do anything, they will do work, but they won't necessarily prioritize it. If they want to go and play pool or whatever, they'll do it. Or if they fancy a nap, they'll do it. And we'll keep everyone's sleep pattern just the same for now. Don't worry about that too much. But if you find that someone's not doing stuff, it's worth checking that. And when you get a new colonist, maybe he's updating that as well. I'll come to numbers last because it's a mod. A sign is just a very basic sort of, we don't really need to go into it too much. It basically means that everyone's going to get the best of everything, in terms of food, in terms of medicine and stuff like that. Drugs, I don't really allow drugs, despite the fact I'm very much for that in real life. Drugs in this game just are a nightmare. People get addicted and they just get withdrawal effects which last an eternity. It's just not worth it. So that screen we don't use too much. I generally do tend to bring this down to simple, actually, because just for everyone, because we're only going to be making simple meals, and what we do is we make our lavish meals, if we've got a good enough cooking skill, for our prisoners. We keep them in a good mood, and we have more chance of recruiting them if we're treating them better. Animals is our animals, so we started with a fucking chinchilla, which is pretty useless. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's not the best thing to start with. I'm gonna give Bill that helmet. Didn't realize that was there. He'll just go and pick that up. Things like clothes and things like that, you can click on a colonist and right click and force them to do it. If something's, say, within someone's remit, you can force them to do that first. But like I say, if that tree's not set to be cut already, see, we'll never do plant cutting because it's not in his bio. He is incapable of it. So even though that plant that needs cut, Bill will do it. Only he's not assigned to plant cutting because I haven't done that. Only Protein's assigned to it. So you can right click then and do that. But without being assigned to the work, you can't just dive in and do it. So that's fine. We'll cancel that. Wildlife, this is a really important screen, I find. This shows all the wildlife that's on the map at the moment, at the present time. Now this is going to sometimes be really rich and full like it is now. And there's a lot of information, things like tame chance, which obviously then depends on your skill. Wildness, which basically means you know, how fucking wild it is. You know, is it easy to tame? Is it not? If it's the higher that stat, the more likely it is to just fucking attack people as well. You'll see the logo down here. these are predators, so, you know, they do have a chance of attacking your colonists. And if that happens, I mean, no one likes an animal attack. Like, no, you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to gather colonists to fucking fight off a rhino or something like that. So that just shows everything there. It also gives you a good idea of, like, you know, the meat amount. So if you want to, you really want to be killing animals, going out and hunting animals that have got the better meat ratio and with a less chance of attacking you back. So like things like alpacas, 90 meat for 0% chance of, you know, seeks revenge. That's a good trade-off. Same with the buffaloes, but they tend to be pack animals and they tend to be, I tend that 2% seems to be a bit low. But you can then, from this screen, hunt from there, and your assigned hunter will go and do that. And leather as well, which is used to make clothes and things like that. So that's wildlife research. Is by all means look at it and see what you can do. This is pretty in depth. You can make this even more in depth with mods, but like I said, I'm not going to go into that. Straight away, that's what we want, microelectronics. It gives us so much great stuff. These are these three items are what we're going for first: the comms console, the orbital trade beacon, the high-tech research bench. These three, well, the comms console and the orbital trade beacon essentially open us up to the entire world. Trade ships will pass by and want to trade with us, and obviously we can gather resources throughout the map and create stuff and trade off. Not every trader trades everything. You get different types of trader. Sometimes they're few and far between, sometimes they come all the time. It's just how the game plays out. So there's a load of stuff to research here. Some of it's useless, like you're never going to do that, like research the recurve bow, because it's lesser technology than you've got now. But to get better guns, you've got to come sort of down this path here with your gunsmithing, and then even that, they're fairly basic guns. Again, fairly basic guns. And here's where you start getting into like heavy SMGs and then assault rifles and sniper rifles, which is really sort of like the end game when you are ready to take on anything the game's got to throw at you, when you've got a bigger colony and stuff like that. And colonists can come by a lot of different means as well. They can just crash land on your planet, you can go rescue them. Raids can happen and you don't necessarily outright kill people, and you can capture them, heal them up, convince them to join your colony. I do enjoy doing that. But it is hard to not kill someone and then sort of rescue them in time. Quests, now this was added with the royalty patch, so things are going to pop up now and then, and I'm largely going to ignore that. I'm going to get us started with just the game. I'm aware I've rambled on for about 20 minutes now, just about the game itself, so I'd rather just get started. The world, there are quests to go out into the world. We're not going to focus on that too much. We're going to focus on getting on you started and just set up in the world and ready to go. I'll probably do 3 or 4 of these episodes. If they're useful to people, that's great. So let's get cracking. Let's have a think about what we're gonna do. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna sort of build our colony here. I don't like this dangerous area, but unless we break through there or a fire breaks out, then we should be alright. We would have to purposely go through that to release whatever is in there. It might be nothing, it might be benign, it might not be though. So I'm thinking, I always like building into a mountain. We've got steel here. You can see the resources kind of, you can see the different patterns on the walls. We've got compacted machinery, which you use for components, which are used in sort of production stuff, you know. If you have like a machining table which makes guns, you're going to have a certain amount of components to build that. Thankfully we do start with some. So, first things first. What have we got? We've got 300 wood there and 450 steel. Now because we're just building basic bedrooms and stuff like that first, that's our priority. We're going to build 3 bedrooms. And what I do like to do is I like to keep everything in one structure, and you'll see why. I'll come to that. Well, actually, no. Essentially, some of the random events that can happen, just to give an example, is we can have toxic fallout. We can have manhunter packs. Now, these can vary from Yorkshire Terriers to rhinoceros or mega sloths, which... oh shit, that's just accident. So if you ever do that, just cancel. Mega sloth here. Strong animals, very aggressive animals, which is not something we want to be fighting, not at all. But so what I like to do is build one structure thereby if I need to keep everyone indoors, I can do, and there's no traversing between the outdoors because animals will linger around your base, waiting for an opportunity to attack someone. So if someone dares go outside, they're gonna get attacked. The animal might get into the base, and then fucking all hell can break loose. It's a wrong move really can fuck you up here. So I quite like this pocket to start with. We can dig deep into the sort of base, into the mountain here to get more space as well. Especially with there being steel there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go architect, structure, wooden walls already selected. I haven't got enough stored, but that's fine because we'll use the stuff here. But storage is going to become a big part of it, and I'm just trying to think where I'll keep my storage, but we'll get the bedrooms done for now. So they don't need to be huge. You don't want to be using a load of items, loads of resources, but we can always cut more trees down. So what I'll do there is I'll do that. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that. I think they're 3 reasonably sized bedrooms. I mean, they're probably quite big actually. And I'm gonna you need to put doors, otherwise people won't get in and out. So there, and there, and you'll see why. I'm gonna build a corridor down here, and I think what I'll do is I'll have my kitchen here, my storage for food here, which needs to be regulated by temperature, and I'll have a corridor connecting them. It means I can then add other rooms. On that, we're going to need things like a hospital, a prison. I don't mind standing alone because if a manhunter pack say comes, fuck the prisoner. You know, they're not part of the colony, so they are deprioritized. So what happens now that that's gone up, that I've done that, our constructor or builder, because he's set to number 1, and he doesn't need to handle anything, because I've not set him to train any animals yet, because it's just take them off there because this chinchilla is useless. We're probably going to end up slaughtering it because you can see here these are the levels of train. Guard, so that'll mean obviously if you get attacked, the animal will defend you. Attack, so obviously then you can release the animals. They're pretty much the only 2 that I'm looking for. You can train them to haul items and rescue, but I've very rarely found animals to drag people back to base. So this animal's useless to us. This chinchilla, it'll probably get eaten by something bigger than it. So what's going to happen now is people might wonder if you ever need someone to just get out of that wandering state, you can just draft, which is basically put them into combat mode, and when they are drafted you can move them wherever you like. That's pretty much it though, and they'll auto fire at any enemies coming. So at the minute what's happening is Protein is just gonna gather the wood. She's got nothing better to do, so she's going to help out. Bill's going to do the same thing. Well, so I'll draft him, and then see building wooden wall. So he's gonna get his arse into gear. Skizzer again, he's just hauling stuff. But for the moment, that's fine. What we want to do just for today, I want to keep it in slow speed. You can't speed the game up. Yeah, you'll notice this. That was one thing I missed that we were looking out for at the start. If you can find somewhere to set up a colony near one of these, later on in the game, you can unlock geothermal power. Now that is a huge advantage to having to use the power that we have at the start, which is wood-fired generators, which is what we're going to do. Wind turbines are alright, but they take up a lot of space, and if a tree grows in the way, which you don't get a warning for, the power output reduces significantly, so you've got to be keeping an eye on that. With a geothermal generator, it's pretty much unlimited energy. Not unlimited, but it's a significant portion of your energy. You're going to be hard pushed to be needing more energy on top of that. But for now, we'll just let our guys go away. Pretty sure, like I say, I've got that quality builder on. I'm just going to double check. So mod settings, quality builder. You can change this so that the default quality, but because he's not too great, I'm not going to worry about it now. And we're building the basics. He's having a whitey because he's been in crypto sleep sickness. And there's a lot of tabs with each character. So we've got his log, which is generally the in his combat, social. So if he chatted on with another colonist, if he took damage from someone, if he delivered damage to someone. His gear, so you can see you get like an armor percentages here. What he's carrying, what he's packing, and then his apparel, what he's wearing. Social, so it shows the sort of relationships between the other guys and the colonists. So we've got Protein and Skizzer. So yeah, everyone's getting along quite well so far. That's decent. Bio's all the stats. It's got traits, fast learner. That's great. So he learns even quicker. So look at how many things this guy's interested in. He's gonna pick these up so quick, and he's pretty. So he's beautiful, which is gonna put everyone else in a nice mood. His needs. This is where you're looking at their moods. He is quite hungry. Before I go on, we're gonna have to build a storage space. We're gonna have to designate that, but first we're actually gonna need to make sure that it's roofed. And just because this side's open, I'm gonna leave it closed for now and sort of not let anyone in that way. It's not the best design, admittedly. Always use wood at the start because it's so bountiful and you do start with a lot. But now what we need to do is we need to designate that as a storage zone. So if we go to architect and zone, stockpile zone, and see there it won't select the areas that you can't store in, but now anything can be put in there and people will start dragging stuff out because stuff outside is going to deteriorate. You see in the left corner, deteriorating because of unroofed outdoors. The weather quality as well isn't going to help. So they're getting cracking. So I'm going to go architect furniture and make sure everyone's got some beds. And I always like building beds right next to the door, just in case you need to get them up in the middle of the night and get them doing stuff. Another thing to think about as well is that you never want to have someone's bedroom to have two doors. You don't want people crossing through doors because uninterrupted sleep is a negative effect. Like there's so many of these things that contribute to people's bad moods, and there's so much more for bad than there is for good. So we automatically get a buff here to very low expectations and initial optimism. So that's just something default given to us to sort of offset the bad mood, but that will go away. You see, we've got a week that expires in 7.7 days. So we've got a week to sort of sort our shit out and get this colony half decent for these guys, or they're going to get moody. And a huge thing with mood is that if someone's mood drops too low, they'll have a tantrum, they'll have a rage, they'll start breaking stuff, they'll start fighting people, they'll start burning shit down, they'll start wandering the map halfway across no matter what's going on. That's really not ideal, especially at the start of the game when you've got so few characters. If say if our guy Skizzer, say, who I believe is our sort of defender, 13 shooting, if he goes off on a mad one and we get raided, we're kind of fucked. Like we're in a really bad place because nothing can be done with him until he decides to come out of this mood. So on the left here now, because we've got our storage and things are starting to go into them, our resources are actually being classed as there. So you can open up these. I'm going to keep some of them open. You'll see that I won't have all of them open because it does get quite listy down the left side. But your main building materials are wood and steel. It's pretty much what you're going to use everything for. There are other things around the map. Components are obviously important, like I said. They're normally needed. You need about, either a handful up to about 8 or 10 for more advanced machinery. But you normally find little pockets of them around the map. You've just got to sort of look around. There's other things as well, like we've got some compacted class steel there. That's handy for building guns and things like that, and armor. These ship chunks, a few of these scatter and will drop throughout the game as well, and you can deconstruct these. You don't need another hotkey, you just click it. In one of your colonists, most likely your builder will go out and deconstruct that for parts, which is nice. Cargo pods will drop from the sky every now and then. They might contain people. Like I say, you can rescue, either choose to rescue or capture, or just leave. You know, that's up to you. If you're in a shitty position and you can't deal with having another person, you know, under your care, then because you're low on food, you're low on medicine, that's a decision you've got to make. So at the minute, what we've got is we've got 3 bedrooms. The beds haven't been built because we don't have enough wood. We've only got 3 wood. So what we're gonna have to do is cut some stuff down. So here we go. All these oak trees. You can see how much they're grown as well, and obviously down in the corner, it's 53% grown, that one. Obviously the bigger the trees, you know, there. So 3 oaks. Maybe this one as well, because these ones are quite big. The thing is with trees as well is that they do provide cover, but we'll be building sandbags, we'll be building defences. So we're going to cut that down so we can obviously finish up the rest of our stuff. We're at 4 o'clock. It's not too far off to bedtime, so I'd like to get beds built. Roofs automatically get built as long as a room is complete. If a room's incomplete, the roof will not get built. You can manually build roofs with the zone tool. Build roof area here. You can see where there's already roof, it's yellowed off. This hasn't been done because we haven't finished the wall. This will get a roof soon. If something's unroofed, things within it will deteriorate, but they'll automatically put roofs on. You don't need to worry about manually putting roofs on rooms. So okay, so we've got... how do I turn that off? Just get rid of that, right click it off. So at the minute we've got our storage, everything's kind of going into here, and we can see how much we've got. We've got 50 packaged survival meals, so we've got food. It's not great quality food, but it doesn't ever rot. That will last forever. But what we want to do after day 1, by the way, this queue here, that's your quality builder mod. If you're running it, great. If not, basically just the builder will build it. I just install it because in case there's more, if I get another person who's decent at construction, I'd like them to contribute to the construction, but not everything needs. You'll see beds once she's finished this one. Oh, he is. It's poor quality. Now, the better the builder, the better quality that's likely to turn out. So certain items you've got an interest in having them to a better quality, like beds, because people get mood boosts if they've slept in a nicer bed, as you would in real life. If I sleep in a comfortable bed, I'm in a better mood in the morning. If I sleep on a fucking, you know, bed of nails, probably not going to be too happy. So that's pretty shitty. So Bill, just paused it quickly there. Bill, his construction's only 4, so you can't expect too much, but he's learnt a lot. You know, when you get 5,000 XP, he's nearly at 3,000, and he's only built, you know, a few walls and beds, but we're sorted. You know, it's getting dark, we've got 3 rooms, and we've got somewhere to put our shit. So there is a knife, and yeah, I could give that to Protein. She has got melee skills, but I don't want to risk her. I'd rather just have her manage the house, keep things in order in terms of food, grow the plants, which we're going to be doing in the morning. Well, I'll be setting everything up for the next day while people sleep. And you can see there, minor break risk. Here's where your warnings come up. And I'll just quickly pause it. So we've got... I didn't explain this. This is really starting stuff, but like I say, I'm very new with this. So, minor break risk. It's just letting you know that one of your colonists, and it's highlighting them there, is in a bit of a bad mood. And it's probably because they're hungry, and that's not something we can do much about. If the food's there, you just got to go and get it. So sometimes the AI can kind of fuck you over, but they're in darkness. I mean, again, it's nighttime. You know, yeah, we can lighten this area up eventually, but come on, unsightly environment, but you know, and recreation unfulfilled. It's like you've literally landed on a fucking crash landed on a planet, and you're pissed off because you can't play a game of chess. It's like, come on, man, what the fuck? But we'll park that for now, and we'll kind of let everyone get on with the rest of their day. You know, they've had a rough one. Starvation. So Bill's starving, and for some reason he's not going to get some food. Can he eat that? Why don't you just consume it then? I shouldn't have to write. I shouldn't have to tell you to eat food. Maybe it's because I've got that one's simple, but I'll change it to fine, just to make sure that people are eating, because I don't want people to starve to death. But this guy, he's hungry as well. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but you can see that little symbol there just means they're chatting onto each other. They're building a relationship. That's good for the colony. Now, if you're playing on random like I am, the game mode that is, something can go wrong first night. Something can go wrong in the first few hours, and you know that's just how RimWorld is. If you're not playing on that game mode, chances are you're going to have a few days to prepare. We're still going to prepare the same way we would any other game mode. We're going to get our basic resources set up, our crops planted, our kitchen area sorted, and yeah, connect it all together, make a colony. We're going to build a hospital, we're going to build a prison, because we don't know when stuff's going to come around. I don't know why Bill's going, he's just wandering around, like he's just, this is a big thing. It's 8 without table. People get really pissed off with this, and obviously the numbers here represent how much of a mood loss there is, and don't worry about it too much the first night. The people shouldn't go mad, so I'm just going to speed it up just to get him in a bed. So they're sleeping, and at least they're sleeping indoors. If they sleep outdoors and not in a bed, it's a big mood loss. So you can see here, here's our dark patch. Need warm clothes. Looks like we've landed somewhere that's going to be quite cold. It's spring and it's 11 o'clock and it's 5 degrees. It's quite cold for spring. So here's our fertile area. What we're going to do is we're going to go to architect and zone and growing zone. Now no one has got the ability to grow. You can see you've got to put the actual zone down first, so make sure it's in the patch that's fertile. We're just going to do potato plants here. There's a whole load of stuff here that you can do. They've all got different uses. There's obviously drugs. There's just flowers. We've got no use for food, but we want some kind of income, some kind of food production going on, as well as being able to go out and hunt animals. So we're going to have 2 4x4 areas. That should do us. So we're going to do potato and we're going to do strawberry because it's got a minimum skill of 5. We've got someone who can plant that. Potatoes and berries. It's a decent mix. So there we go. We've got that. That'll get started on by our gardener in the morning. That'll be their priority. And then we're going to build our kitchen. So I'm thinking with the colony, it's going to sort of spread out here, and we're going to have a corridor kind of maybe running around. So the kitchen's probably going to be here. I want it near the crops. I don't want people walking miles to and from once the crops are ready to harvest. So I want the kitchen to be quite big as well. I want to get a nice big table in there. So you see, we don't have enough stored. But that's fine. If you go over plans, go over trees with plans, you will automatically cut those down. I think that's a decent size. And I'm going to put the entrance there. And that'll get built in the morning. What we'll also do, and we'll make this steel just because it's generally thinking physics laws, or the laws of physics tend to stand up. I'm going to build food stockpile zone. Again with a steel door. I know this wall's wood, but that should generally be fine. So that's going to become our food storage zone, but that is going to need to be regulated by temperature, which we're going to need power for. I don't want to overwhelm my colony with plans, because what I'm going to have to do as well is going to have to make sure that this area is clear. I don't really want trees in my kitchen, so I'm just going to make sure that this shit's all cut down. So when the guys get up in the morning, I'll speed this up a little bit, just to get to morning, get them woken up. What'll happen is, because I've prioritized in this way, and feel free to change this as well. Obviously, your colonist might not be the same as mine. It's totally random. You can't make your colonists went through. But when they get up and when they start their working day, they're going to work through that order. So take protein, for instance, is going to get up. It's going to go, do I have anyone to doctor? No. Do I have anything to cook? No. Do I have anything to grow? Yes. I have the plants to plant. I'm going to get to that shit. Skizzer is going to go, have I got anything to hunt? I'm just going to pause it because he's got up. No. Have I got anything to mine? No, because we haven't told him anything. Have I got something to haul? Yes. And he's automatically going and hauling the wood to the wall blueprint. So that's great. Bill, nothing to warden, we've got no prisoners. Nothing to handle because I've not told him to go out and either tame animals or train the fucking chinchilla we got. But he will get up and he will start cracking on with that wall. And start our kitchen. There's a few things, other things we're going to need to get our kitchen functioning. And that'll come with the power, but I want the building built first, so I don't know why this guy's up so early. Quick sleeper. Nice, but he's also a misogynist. Really dislikes and distrusts women. Hey mate, I can relate. I'm not saying I'm a misogynist, I'm just saying, you know, he's obviously had a bad time with women. It's still early morning, so I'm just going to let these guys do their shit. So they're up now. I'll slow time down just because look, these guys will automatically clear the area as well. So there's rocks, which can come in useful. You can use these instead of sandbags if you want, and set up sort of, well, like I say, instead of sandbags, just boulders, and use them as cover. Cover is important when you're in combat. If you're just stood out in the middle of the open like a dick, you're gonna get hit. Usually the raids, even in Randy Random, they start off and it's generally enemies with bows and pikes and spears and things like that, you know, shitty weapons. Factions, I didn't go through here, so we see everyone here. There's only a couple that are neutral to us and that'll depend on how relations go. Traders pass through on foot. We don't just need the ships, but the better traders do come by ship. We've got a lot of hostile tribes around us, and they're going to come at us time to time. Sometimes more than one group at a time. RimWorld's just recently introduced where before you'd get the notification of a raid and it would bring you the location. So say I was getting raided now and it would go, the raid is over here. And I'd go, right, shit, I've got 3 guys coming in there. But it wouldn't tell us that there was another guy from the same tribe who'd come in from this side. So you've really got to look at everything, the whole map. And while I've selected the largest, I still feel like you can kind of pick stuff out, even zoomed out this much. Obviously the names are visible. Any enemy names will be red. And your guys are obviously white, so everyone's cracking on with their work. So I'm happy with that. You know, he's building and getting good at that. He's nearly level 5, and you see how fast that goes up. Just by building a wooden wall. So he botched that. He saw their construction botched, but he just does it again. It's a little waste of materials, but when we have this little, when it costs so little to build a wooden wall, I'm not concerned about that. And she's gone away and she's planting food now. So that'll start growing. Obviously, it's already started. You know, it's nearly 8% grown, and you can see the growth rate there's 139%. 140% now because we've planted it on that fertile ground. We're in an area that we can grow 50 out of the 60 of the year days, so it's not so important that if you land somewhere, if you've selected somewhere random or you go somewhere more deserty or somewhere like that, fertile land is going to be far less common. There's a lot of it in the temperate forest. You really want to utilise it though. If you can get a camp going near an area with fertile land, it's going to be a big advantage. This stuff here is just kind of, you deconstruct it, it's like sandstone and things like that. It's just old monuments, and now and then this faction here, this is the royalty patch, this Empire of Perfection. They're gonna ask you to do shit. Now and then they'll ask you to build monuments and stuff like that, and it'll give the colonists who selected who accepted the quest, which you get to choose, sort of royalty points and things like that. But I'm not going to focus too much on that with these episodes. Like I say, I'm just going to try and get us started, get us going in RimWorld, and hopefully you know what you're doing from there. That's kind of what I want these videos to be about. So yeah, I mean, feel free to speed the time up. I'm just going to keep it slow for this first episode because I'm just, like I say, if you've come with this video, I'm assuming it's because you wanted some guidance on it, so I don't want to just rush things. So it's at midday. We've got bedroom sorted, so that's fine. What I'd like to now get is some power. So I feel like this little bit here is as good a place as any to just hide away that. Now, think about this. I see so many people who've streamed. I've checked out a few streams of RimWorld, and people don't do this at all. You just built a generator there. You go to your build roof area. It doesn't automatically get a roof because it's an object. Build a fucking roof, right? Build it a bit bigger than that, because if it rains like it is now onto an electrical device, it's not fucking good for it, is it? Think about it. Like, RimWorld isn't stupid, and it doesn't expect you to be stupid either. It expects you to think about this sort of stuff. So get the roof built, get the power built, and with power, you do have to use these. Now, I know I've just gone on about physics and all that. Waterproof conduits aren't really necessary unless there's a lot of water around. So your power conduits are fine. They will blow every now and then, but you want to just sort of run. It doesn't have to go right to any electrical device, but we're going to run one just up and along the perimeter of our sort of base there. That's going to allow us to connect things to that line. Like I say, it doesn't have to be on the line, but you know, as long as it's close to it, it should connect to it. So he's roofing up that kitchen now. I will furnish that, but I'd rather get the power sorted first because we're going to need the stove, which needs the power. We need a butcher's table, which I always put outside, just because it's slaughtering animals, and I don't really like that inside. You know, there's blood everywhere. It does get a work speed penalty reduction if you put a production item outside, but with the butcher's table, I'm not too fussed. I build a roof over it, and I don't really find it slows things down too much. It's generally quite a quick process to skin and flesh an animal or whatever you do. So he's building that. If you zoom in, you can sort of see the progress of that, and you get it down here, you know, work left. And you can see he's leveled up. He was level 4 when we started. He's level 5, and he's just loving this. He's just loving constructing. Now, pause here, because we've got 2 clocks on these guys. That means these guys have got nothing to do. I don't like that. So, we're low on wood. This power generator is a wood-fired generator, so let's get some of these oaks cut down. That gives these guys something to do, something productive. Clears the area around here as well. Generally oaks and poplars in the temperate forest area, but this means that these trees are cut down, we get the supplies, and it means that we've cleared the area. So if there's any raids, we're kind of at the advantage because we can shoot out. Chances are the first raid's going to be people with melee. Maybe there's going to be a guy with a bow, but we'll have the advantage. So there we go. That just means that it hasn't had any wood yet. This is the handle, the basic skill, sorry. So everyone's at 2 here, so someone will say he's going to refuel that now. He understands that that's important, and he's going to do that. Nothing needs electricity at the minute, but now I'm going to start building stuff. So, production. Electric stove. You can have a fueled stove, but we've just built a power supply, so why are we going to do that? I'm going to put that right there, because it's right next to where we're going to store our meat and stuff like that. So, here's where a little storage trick comes in handy. So, they're fine where they are. However, I don't want food food stored in there. If you go to click on the floor and where there's not an item, where the storage space is, and click on storage, it gives you the option as to what you do and don't want in there. So see, it doesn't want chunks, which is boulders like this, because it's useless to us, and corpses. Keep that, but we're going to take out food. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to architect zone, stockpile zone. This area here, which is going to be our sort of refrigerator, clear all food. Allow rotten and fresh. We're not going to allow rotten. Fresh is fine. Nothing else goes in there. And that's what this game is kind of about. It's kind of about manipulating that sort of the storage spaces and making sure, like when we build our hospital, I'm going to build a tiny little room next to it for medicine. So that way, when we've got people in there, our doctor has got quick access to it and isn't say if our hospital's up here, isn't having to run down here to get medicine, to come back and treat someone and do the same thing again and do the same thing again. It's just you know, it's just simple planning really. It's just having to think about, you know, how these things work. But if you've not played RimWorld, you don't really know the ebb and flow of the game. That's why I'm doing these videos. And again, probably go for another 10 minutes or so and then we'll pick it up again. And we'll do the next sort of few hours. But let me know if this is helpful. Like I say, I'm very new with this and stuff like that. Right, so he's starting on the stove. So after that, I am going to get him to work on the butcher's table, which I'm probably going to put here. I think I'll have like a little open space here, like a garden with some torches and stuff like that, and kind of wall the rest of it off. That might be nice. I've never done that before, so put the butcher's table up there. See, it says up there, butcher table will have work speed penalty outdoors. I'll build a roof over it just so people aren't getting soaking wet, but I'm not too concerned. But see, if this didn't have a roof over it, it probably would have blown already, and we'd waste resources repairing it, and it catches fire. You've got to put the fire out. What we also need for our kitchen is a table. So I like to just go, depending on the shape of the room, I think 2x4 works probably better than a 3x3. Although maybe not. No. Put it there, and chances are 3 people at the same time aren't going to be eaten, so I'm just gonna do 2 chairs for now, so we're not eating up wood like, you know, nobody's business. But the queue comes up here. That's just the quality builder mod. It's just these are the things that add beauty to rooms, so it's in our interest to have the best builder build them. Yes, we've only got one who's going to do it anyways, Bill. But once we get more colonists, I want more people to be able to do multiple tasks, so more shit gets done. You'll see as the colony grows, more things need to happen. You need to stay on top of food a lot more, which is why it's good to have more than one person who can shoot reasonably well. A lot of stuff needs to happen. We are going to basically lose one colonist soon to pure research. That's what he's going to dedicate his day to, because we need to start improving things. We don't have the technology to defend ourselves after the first few raids. Well, we do, but we certainly need things to improve our quality of life around here. Improve people's moods, because everyone's just sort of grey. Protein's a bit meh. Recreation starved, so I'll build a fucking horseshoes pin. So you can see the sort of area that you need, which doesn't really fit in with my nice little opening idea, but I'll stick that out there, and at least it's I'll stick it here. At least it's close, and at least, you know, it's something that people can fucking do. Just to, you know, throw a horseshoes pin in the air. There you go, recreation fulfilled. You know, you've literally landed in from like a spaceship, but a horseshoes pin is perfect. Fucking recreation. Totally get it. But whatever. So these guys are asleep, so we've got the butcher's table built. Now, what we need to do, this is a big thing, is when you create production items. They're not they're useless until you actually do something with them. So bills. This screen, this little tab here, you see it here on the wooden butcher table. So bills. Only got two options. Just butcher creature, which we're going to do forever. Basically, anytime we kill an animal, that means it's going to get dragged back here, and our cook will butcher it for meat and leather. See, kibble, I'm not arsed about, because I'm going to slaughter this animal, I think. Because it's pointless training it, because it's fucking useless, and it's just going to wander around, and it's just going to get eaten by something else, so we might as well take the meat. So, we'll do that, and I'm not going to worry about kibble, because kibble is for pets, and we don't have any pets. Now, because we're going to be butchering that animal, we are going to need some temperature. Now, we want a cooler. We've got the power to now have this. But you'll see here, there's two sides to it. We don't want the red side going in the room. Obviously, that's the hot side. So Q rotates that. And you want the cool side going into the room. We'll build that there. And then that way, when it's built, we'll be able to control the temperature, and we'll put it around 2 to 3 degrees as you would a refrigerator. It means meat kept in there will be good for, you know, up to 5-6 days. And here's where this comes in handy. I'm not going to bother with this just yet, because we've got 38 of these, and now that tables and chairs are going to be built, probably not to a great standard, but they will get built, and people will be happier having sat down and had a meal. Man, this guy really needs no sleep at all. 3 AM and he's getting up. Like, that's a really big perk, considering he's like the defender of the colony. Like, that's bang on. And healthier, I haven't talked about this, but there we go. See, like, so we knew someone had a scar on their foot, and it affects their movement by 4%, but it's not such a big deal. These will deteriorate over time through battles, through raids, and things like that. I'm just going to slow it down. It's daytime, everyone's up. So he's just slaughtered that animal now. I don't know why he's not dragging it back. I do know why, because we haven't made a zone. We need a dumping stockpile zone. So this is a bit awkward, because you don't really want somewhere right on your colony where there's a load of fucking dead animals, because it makes people go bleh. So I think we'll put it in this little kind of corner here, and that way it's less chance that people are going to see it, and it allows corpses. So now that will get dragged back there, and then it can be butchered. It's not classed as our property. Someone will maybe go get it, but because it's out of range of our home area, it's not on their priority list. But you'll see soon that someone will now or soon go and get that. Now see, this activates because it doesn't have to be on the power line. It's near the power source, but it's at 21 degrees. We don't want that, so we're going to lower the target temperature. 3 degrees is about a fridge, isn't it? And that's fine. And he's going to set away building this shit. His construction skills just going to get better. It's probably aren't going to be great quality items, but we might get lucky. I've just got a few minutes left, guys, so I'm going to sort of wrap it up. But that's sort of day 1 and 2 of RimWorld. I hope it's been helpful. Obviously, we've got a few little warnings here. Minor break risk. I mean, we've known about this mood for a little while now. Need defences. That's something that we're going to cover next episode. We're just going to set up with a few sandbags, just so we cover our angles, and just sort of anywhere that, you know, raids can come from. We've got somewhere to just shelter behind. We've only got 2 guys that can actually fire a weapon. Well, we've only got 2 weapons, but we'll be setting that up next episode. And need recreation variety. Well, that's getting built. He just literally needs to go and hammer that twice, which I'll let him do now. There we go. That's built. So now that's gone away. 2 colonists idle, but it's a good place to leave it. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. I really enjoy playing RimWorld, and I really enjoy, obviously, if I can get other people into it. I hope I've done a good job of explaining the sort of basics so far. Let us know what's not good, what is good. But yeah, please hit like, please hit subscribe, and just let me know how I'm doing. So we're gonna save this. I've got a load of shit. See, I call a lot of shit Lothric because I'm a big Dark Souls fan. A lot of stuff on my other channel is just me playing through Dark Souls, which I admit isn't the most interesting stuff, but that's all I've got so far. So we're gonna call this just fucking YouTube 1 because it's the first time I've done this. So okay, I quit down, and that's it all saved, and we'll pick this up. I'll do another sort of hour, maybe for another 3 or 4 episodes, and like I say, I think that should be enough time to sort of set you on your way and get you started with your colony. But yeah, thanks a lot.